Hello there, and welcome to the Dead Air Dudes.
Hey people, one and all, what's good? It's Rocka here.
Izzy here, and we're here to review the Netflix movie that was just released, last week?
No, a while back now.
Week and a half ago, maybe? Anyway, Uncut Gems, starring Adam Sandler, Dina Menzel, Kevin Garnett, Julia Fox,
Woohoo.
and Eric Bogosian. So, let's start it off.
I mean, this is taking you back for the setting is in New York City, 2012.
12, yeah.
It all begins actually a few years before that, 2010.
By the way, spoilers abound, everyone. Spoilers abound.
Ethiopian Jews, miners, find a rare black opal in the Wello mine in Africa. And obviously they're workers and they got to move it, so it's black market stuff. It falls into the hands of the main character, which is played by none other than
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler as
Howard
Ratner. He's a jeweler. And let's get into Ratner first before we move on. A complex, extremely flawed, self-absorbed jeweler
and a degenerate
gambler who makes the world's worst impulsive decisions, and he can't help himself, right? This, I think, is the concurring theme through the whole movie. Like with most addicts, sadly, they cannot help themselves with food, entertainment, women, their appetites, his logical but cannot rein in thirst to make money. And later there's a line in the movie which sums it all up, which I actually love. It was very good subtext. So the real gist of Adam Sandler's character falls to him to get this black opal, and he's going to move it. He plans to move it in an auction, and he's been told from just pictures that it could be worth anywhere between the high hundreds of thousands to $1 million.
Yeah.
Right? If he finally gets it, but as you find out, he is heavily in debt.
Yeah, because he is a degenerate gambler. Now, he owns a very successful, jewelry business. He's a jeweler to the stars, quote unquote. Now, he's also married with 3 kids.
And his marriage is on the rocks big time.
Yeah, big time. So he projects a life of comfortability, whatever, when he's really falling apart inside, both emotionally and obviously financially. And he's also has a girlfriend on the side who happens to work with him also, who works for him, Julia Fox, who has a stand-up performance in this, in her first, co-starring role. Now, you also have Kevin Garnett in this movie, who plays himself, or a upscale version of himself, and his friend or hanger-on, Damani, played by Lakeith Stanfield, who Damani already has an association with Howard. He brings all the players to him, and Howard Sandler, he outfits them with whatever they need,
Oh, massive bling.
Yes, massive bling. From Furbies to, anything else. Now, the whole problem is that Howard owes money all over town. In particular to a man named Arlo, played by Eric Bogosian, who is an Armenian American who happens to be also married into Howard's family, Jewish family, which we don't find out till later on in the movie. But we know that he owes him a substantial amount of money, which is, I'm thinking 100,000, or it's got to be more. I mean, they never specify, or maybe I missed it. But and he has these enforcers who are constantly kicking Howard's ass.
I mean, they're past. They're at his store.
Yeah.
They show up later at his kids' play.
Yep.
They watch him where he goes. He may know it. He doesn't know it. And again, what you gotta appreciate is that Howard's character in this script, and I mean, very well performed by Adam Sandler.
I would say probably
He's an extremely flawed character.
Definitely.
I mean, almost everything about him is flawed. From his timing, how he gauges people, his ego, his emotions, everything gets in the way. You're almost shocked that he's a successful businessman because he owes money all over town. He takes money from his left pocket to put in his right pocket. He pays Peter and he robs Paul. He does this, he does that, to the point that he almost forgets where he's at, how much he spent. But you have to appreciate it's a very well depiction of somebody consumed by their vices.
But the funny thing is, the whole story centers around somehow he got into contact with these Ethiopian Jews, which I never heard before this movie.
Oh, I have.
And they found the opal, the black opal, and I guess he purchased it from them, you know? So at that moment, Kevin Garnett and his people are there in his store. He's like, "Oh, Kevin, I gotta show you this," and he shows him this.
Because he's a big show off too.
Exactly, he shows him this rock, and Garnett essentially is entranced. He falls in love with the rock.
He believes it holds mystical power.
Yeah, exactly.
He was told the whole story about the lost tribe of Ethiopian Jews, yes, how they're searching the world. Now, these gems have seen the dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs have seen them. That's how old these are. He gets a good look at it with his eye thing, the jeweler's eyepiece, yep, and he's mesmerized. He's captivated to the point.
What happens?
Again, total sidebar. Kevin Garnett plays a very good role. Some athletes play a cameo. Some play themselves. He plays himself, but he plays himself very professionally well, I believe.
He plays himself kind of a little more professional, I guess, maybe a little more, or what he perceived himself to be, really, which is kind of weird, but okay, it works. You know what I mean?
But he did it, and it did work.
It worked.
Most athletes, I hope they don't take offense. Most athletes are told to play themselves, and they go over the top.
Yes, he was not over the top.
He was within himself.
He was.
To the point that he was very believable, very convincing. His entourage was not out of control. He was entranced. I mean, this whole store was surrounded by all this bling, but he just wanted that now, and his eye on it. And here's where the fatal flaw happens, right?
Yep.
Kevin Garnett was so taken by it, and Adam Sandler was so wanted to beat his chest on how great this rare item was. He took it. And he didn't just take it. They swapped out. He swapped out his Celtic ring. He swapped out some other. I mean, yeah, he took it as collateral, but he really should not have done that. He had this rock in his hands that could have solved all of his financial woes. But instead, he got caught up and swooned into being the big shot. Yep. And he let Garnett walk out with this rock, even though he had other financial dealings to do with it.
I guess supposedly Damani, which is Garnett's boy, also Howard's boy, was supposed to bring it the next day. Now, what happened that the next day, Damani.
Well, no, that night he plays a game.
Yes.
And Garnett goes crazy. And he goes crazy with stats. And you're talking about ridiculous that he just goes off. He just racks up points, rebounds. He was unstoppable. He was his man-child, which, you know, by the way, he's a Hall of Fame caliber player. But he goes off in a playoff game. I mean, to the point now that Garnett believes, without a shadow of a doubt that this opal has brought him mystical powers that took his game to another level. He's not leaving this baby. He's not letting go of this baby. In fact, he wants it. You know, so much so he takes it with him. He ignores phone calls. He ignores his boy Damani trying to get it back and try to broker a deal back. And Damani knows these are athletes. You know, there's no set in stone handshake solid deals. You know, you got to cater to them. Sometimes they're spoiled. Sometimes, you know, rules don't apply. Sometimes the handshake doesn't apply. It's all gone. Next day, he wants it. He wants it. Now, this screws up Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler kind of knows that he's going to play big, and he bet money on him. But without him knowing, comes out later in the movie, the people he owed money to knows he's laying down bets all over town, and one of which is a big cameo by none other than New York's Pope, Mike Francesa, playing as Gary, big-time underground bookie.
Big-time underground bookie.
So he lays money down all over town.
And bad in that role.
He was great in that role. Actually, so many people were part of this movie, which is shocking to me when Izzy brought it to my attention that this movie only had a $19 million budget. Freaking unheard of. Unheard of. I mean, really. And so you got a pretty good cast assembled. He thinks he wins large. He's going to celebrate with his side chick. He's riding high. He's swapping money all over town, thinking he's going to get this big payday at auction. And when the auction people start calling, where's the item? Where's the item? We got to take pictures of it. We got to assess it. We got our own people appraise it. We have to get a brochure going.
No, first you missed one thing. With the money that he got for collateral, Kevin Garnett's ring. So he goes to one of his boys and he pawns Kevin Garnett's championship Celtic ring for $25,000 or whatever. And he takes that money and he lays a bet with that money, knowing full well that he has to
cover
every game that and give Garnett back his ring.
Get the ring back.
Okay. Now, he wins. But at his daughter's recital or concert or whatever, Arno, who he owes money to, and his thugs beat him up.
They show up. They follow him out. His marriage is already on the rocks.
They strip him naked.
They stuff him in the trunk of his car. Naked and ashamed. Naked and afraid. Naked and ashamed. He calls from the trunk of his car, butt-ass naked. He calls his wife, soon-to-be ex-wife, to go release him. Where she comes running out, I guess is intermission. I think he misses the whole performance of their daughter. She comes out, unlocks him from the trunk of the car. He's got a welt on his back. He's butt-ass naked and scared out of his wits. And I feel for her. I feel for her character. She didn't know what to think. Her husband's a jerk. He's a jerk. He's an annoying jerk. He's obnoxious. He's full of himself. He looks completely self-absorbed. He looks like he just messes up financially, and he's not the most thoughtful person in the world. No wonder. It's no wonder that they're done. They're done. Now you got to come out to your kids' play or performance. If you're not for the wife, be there for the kids. And you have to release him from the trunk of his car, butt-ass naked and beat up. You don't even know what the hell is going on. And that scene solidifies from their point of view, last straw breaking.
Definitely.
And you can see fully now he's in some deep shit.
Not only that, but just before he gets naked, he made the bet. He won the bet, but because he owed so much money around town, the bet was knocked down. So he didn't win shit.
And he's thinking he was riding high and he can cover all the losses. Meanwhile, he is beyond broke. He's desperate. And as you all know, once you get desperate, you get sloppy. He already is sloppy to begin with, and this is where he gets even more sloppier. And you know what happens afterwards. As it turns out, just jumping ahead. Don't want to do a full synopsis, but just jumping ahead towards the pivotal parts of the ending. They're at auction.
Yeah,
He finally gets his rock back. You know, Kevin Garnett gets his stuff back. You feel for him that he's going to actually pull this off, cover all his losses, and reconstitute his life. I mean, I know I overlaid the whole thing with the girlfriend and the weekend and they're in the bathroom.
Don't forget the fact that this rock was supposed to be worth up to $1 million.
It's $1 million. So
they changed
they knocked down the carats.
They changed
how much per carat
to 155 to 200,000. So somewhere in the meantime, he told Garnett that the thing is going up on auction for $1 million to show up on Monday. So Garnett
just buy it outright
and tries to buy it outright. So Howard goes there with his
thugs.
No. It's not Howard.
Oh no. How
Judd Hirsch? What he plays what? He plays like
father-in-law, father.
You know,
but he plays the part to up the bidding so that you can force the market
up the bidding so you can get the most out of Garnett. Obviously, it backfires on him, and it's
everything he does in this movie backfires on him. His girl very well could have did something with the weekend in the bathroom, but he found his girl in the nightclub. He found his girl in the nightclub with the weekend. Again, great elements here. Not sidebar, but just to mention, the movie does a great job bringing New York to New York life.
Yeah.
It's urban. It's cutthroat. It's shady. It's fast-paced. The movie is very fast-paced. In the beginning, I thought this thing's going to be a slow grind. No, it's pretty damn fast. They pack a lot.
The movie is so visceral that you feel exactly how Howard feels.
It's a rat race.
You feel that anxiety, that stress that he feels that he needs to get done. You feel, the anger in his wife. You feel, the strain on the marriage. You feel freaking the whole thing. And I think it's a testament to the two directors, the co-directors, the Safdie brothers, who did a phenomenal job. Who also co-wrote the movie. So.
The movie is it's like a manic depressive mood swing.
Yes.
You're up high. You think he's going to win it all. You think he's just one roll away from winning the jackpot to he's rock bottom. He lost his girlfriend. He lost his wife. His kids think weird of him. The son thinks who's the hot lady living in his apartment. They know nothing about the breakup coming. He is totally rock bottom. He owes the world money. They're going to break his legs, go after his family, do him wrong.
Yeah.
And then he gets the rock back. He gets the rock back. He's going to put it up auction. He's going to sell it for a big payday. He's going to pay all of his losses. The girl comes back. The girlfriend comes back to him. All will be said and done. Everything will be copacetic. Not so copacetic. They screw up the auction, like as he said. They beat him up. He's got till midnight or that night to reclaim all his losses, to get the money, pay his bills.
So he gets to actually sell the rock back to Garnett for 165 grand.
Yeah, he's going to lose money, but he's going to save his ass.
So,
and this is, to my opinion, this is the climax of the movie.
Exactly. Here is the apex or the climax to the movie. The pivotal, the extra pivotal part. He won.
This is the meatball down the middle, and you swing and you hit it out of the park. And I think they hit it out of the park.
Got the money for the rock. He calls Arno and says, "You know what? I have your money. Come and pick it up." Garnett shows up. He gives him the rock. Garnett gives him the money. And then what happens? He starts giving him a speech in earnest. Oh, they think you suck. Here are the odds for Game 7, which is that night. Celtics versus the 76ers. And he says, "Oh, I know they're saying you're going to get 18 points and 7 rebounds. I know you can do that in your sleep, all kinds of things." And he convinces Garnett, and then he convinces himself to bet on the game, to bet $165,000 on Garnett and the game. Take it away.
He's diseased. He can't help himself. He's got the biggest problem in the world. He can't cut his losses. He can't settle up. He can't pony up. He's got an itch, and he can't stop himself. He talks himself into it. This is the great part of the movie where Kevin Garnett basically plays the role indirectly of his consciousness, where he says, "Can I have a word with you in private?" And in private, he asked him, "From the minute I met you, from minute one, you're shady. You're up to something else. You don't come direct. You don't straight talk. What's your deal?" And he tells him in the best way.
With a broken face, by the way. He's all beat up.
Oh, he's all cracked. The best way he can, in a very indirect subtext way, he sums up his problem in life. He's not an athlete, but to relate it to Kevin Garnett, who is a professional apex athlete, they tell you can't do it. They tell you have odds against you. They tell you can't win the championship. He's always looking to prove them wrong. He's always looking to win. He's looking to score. And it's an itch that can't be quelled. He can't be satiated. Something presents himself, he's got to conquer it. And Kevin Garnett's he's a different person. He's a different animal. He's a professional athlete. He can do it. But Adam Sandler as Mr. Ratner in this movie, Howard Ratner, he's not great at these things. Gambling is not like putting a basketball through a hoop.
Nope.
And in a very convoluted, kind of nice slapstickish way, he sends his girl around the entire complex to the other window to grab the money, take the money, get a chopper, fly to Mohegan Sun, drop the money,
place the bet
for the game, place the bet, cash in, and possibly make $1 million. In the meantime, the thugs are all in his office. They want the money. He called them there to say he doesn't have the money. I don't know what he was thinking because he does not think this out. He did not have a premeditated way out.
No, he did not.
Again, he is so flawed. He gets the guys. I don't know where they're leaving, but they're leaving.
They're leaving to go get her.
Oh, sorry. You're gonna get
Mohegan Sun. So he locks them inside the office.
Inadvertently, the office. There's a little atrium made of bulletproof plexiglass.
You press a buzzer, you let them in, you let them out. Now, early in the movie,
it was broken, and so it just so happens, fortuitously, it happens that they get locked in there. It's bulletproof; they can't shoot their way out. And so he gets the brainchild of, you know what? I'm going to lock them in there. Watch it with. They're going to see that I'm right. That I made a fortune out of their money. They're still going to get their money by the deadline. And he just has to show off.
Yep.
And his fatal flaw comes home to roost in a big, because you could win. He could win. He could make all this money. And all they're going to do is this. Where I knew the ending. I knew there's no way in hell.
No way could end.
There was no way in hell. I just love that they stuck to it. I really do. I appreciate the ending more than anything in the movie.
Two ways it could have ended. You could have the Hollywood ending, which the way the movie was going, there's no freaking way. Or it could end.
He could have been smart about it, but he's not smart. He's not smart. He could have said, "You'll have the money by midnight. Sneak out the other back way. Go meet the girl. Get the money. Give the money and leave." Or he could have said, "Peace. Sneak out. Meet the girlfriend. Get the money. Disappear."
Yeah, basically end up happening.
But no, because he thinks he has this warped sense that they might cheer him and laud him as this great genius gambler. They're going to pat him on the back. They're going to make the money, and they'll believe in him.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Incredible bet. And I think it's like 1.2, 1.4 million if he won.
1.2 and change. And so
he wins. He actually wins the bet. He unlocks the door.
And the thug, one of the thug pops him in the head, kills him instantly, just pops him in the face. The movie stayed true to itself all the way to the end. I love it. And then the other guy, his brother-in-law, is lamenting, why'd you do that? You know, we got our money. We could have this. Yeah, he was an asshole. We could have beat the shit out of him, other things. And then the two thugs, they had enough of him too. And like, you know what? They look around. They're still low-life thugs. They look around and be like, you know, mother, you've given us a lot of flack. I did not like being the last 2 hours caged in the plexiglass hot-ass cell. Then they cap him.
And they steal.
They start smashing places. They probably loot over 2-3 million, maybe more, maybe tens of millions of dollars worth of merch. Kevin Garnett wins the game. He's at the wrap up of the
got the Rock.
interviews. He's got the Rock. He's living high. He's on cloud 9. The juxtapose of the two ties in perfectly with, I think, one of the best titles they've come up with as far as a title appropriate to the movie. Some movies are no-brainers. Elf, King Kong. This was actually pretty clever with multiple layers and meanings. Uncut gems. This is, you know, in its rawest state of an unpolished piece of jewelry that with the best crafted hands turns into multi-dollar pieces of art that people pay, flaunt everything for. That's a polished gem. Kevin Garnett. An uncut gem is raw, needs a lot of refinement, needs to be chopped down to bits to be made into something polished and something beautiful and something elevated, and that's Howard. It's just unfortunate that no matter what Howard does, and he is misguided. Let's not mince words here. He's an asshole. He does everybody wrong in the movie. He might have good intentions. He might show flashes of being good. Deep down inside, I think he's a good guy.
But what makes it even worse? The fact that he's actually, even though he is an asshole, even though he is, I wasn't call him a bad guy, but even though he does bad things, he's still likable.
He's still likable because
likable. So you
still. What do you like about him? What's the most likable trait about him?
Maybe it's a testament to Adam Sandler, the way he played the role, because it's like you still were wanting him to win.
I find
he was a scumbag and he cheated his wife and his kids were left in the lurch and the whole freaking 9 yards. And on top of that, he got a piece of ass girlfriend who he dissed and left her freaking, because she was, messing around with the weekend.
And technically, clothes were on.
Yeah. Well,
you caught them together in the bathroom. That's no good. But
they were.
What I find is the endearing trait amongst all his flaws is that he's trying. He has a goal. His goal, and he's trying to get to his goal. He's not completely deadbeat. He sleeps with the kid. He puts the kid to bed. He tries to be home. He's trying to hold it together. He's trying. He tries to be at the play. He's trying
to be a good parent.
He tries. So I think what's good about him, why you root for him, because he's trying. He's so imperfect, but he's trying. He's not a complete deadbeat. Him and his wife, it ain't going well. But he did find this piece of ass that is utterly irresistible, who by and large, except for that whole thing with the weekend, is into him too.
Yeah, she loves him. I mean, after that whole freaking thing.
So, hate to put it to the screws. Nothing's perfect in life, but he's good. He wants his best for his family. He doesn't know the best way to get at it, but he's trying. He found love, for whatever that equates to.
Yeah.
He found love, and he wants just her. He's not playing the field. He's not playing around. So he's with true love. He tries to be an involved parent, and he's trying to score it big. Not the right way, but I mean, he's trying to do it his way. So I think that's why you're kind of pulling for him, because he doesn't have maliciousness in him. He just happens to have a shit ton of collateral damage.
You know what it is? He is all about what's what I'm looking for? It's all like in the moment, it's like, okay, you know what? This happens now. Let's do this now. Boom. And
he doesn't think it forward. He doesn't think it forward.
He doesn't think anything out. He doesn't plan anything. I mean, well, he might plan stuff, but that plan gets to go out the window because in the moment he feels like this has to happen. It has to happen.
Yeah, I mean, look at his dealings. Look at his dealings with the lobby people, with
to his death,
because his workers.
If he would have planned it out just a little more, he could have easily gone away.
He could have got away a lot, but
the money.
He looks
and the honey.
His role in the movie, his character is consistent. He's a lifetime fuck up.
Yes.
Now he's successful enough to make X number of money, but he's also into X number of debt. So his highs and lows, and I feel for him.
You owe this.
I feel for him because he's a millionaire one day, he owes everyone and the mother the next day. He's put his family in jeopardy, and he also takes care of them. That freaking house was nice that they lived in. That was a sweet house. He drives a sweet Mercedes.
Jersey. I think it was Jersey. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice. Landscape, floors, huge, everything. Look at the kids. They had one had a truck bed or a sports car bed with LED lights. The other one has like a chain hoop in the bedroom. I mean, you're not a total screw up. You're not a total screw up if you can't afford those things.
You want a truck bed, that's what I think.
You know, I do. I want an Optimus Prime bed, but that's neither here nor there. So, okay, to the movie. Critique of the movie. As is what it is, which is an action-packed drama. It's action. It's a little suspense. It's a little bit of everything. It swings high and it swings low, but it's well done. Wouldn't call it a great movie. I call it a very good movie. I really love how it ties up at the end very well, very subtle. I hate movies that spell things out. I think this does a great job of summing everything up with that last meeting with Garnett. All in all, very entertaining, fast-paced, well done. From a lifelong New Yorker, I appreciate that it's New York on screen. I dig this movie. You, sir?
I thought it was very, very well made. I thought the direction was great. The writing was good. The acting was superb. It was very good. I think it's Adam Sandler's best role probably ever. I mean, if there's one complaint, I think we could have given Idina Menzel's character a little more to do, except for a couple scenes. But
yeah, a few character depth. There's only two characters really that was.
That's part of the budget. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you only have the girlfriend and him. That's really of any kind of depth.
And then she was great. I mean,
but he captured a New Yorker jeweler hustling.
Well, no, I mean, no.
He captured it well. I mean, very well. Mannerisms, accent, speech, and I know he's a New Yorker too, so wasn't much of a stretch. But to do it, execute it as well as he did.
It was a high octane ride.
Absolutely.
It wasn't, completely freaking, surprising, the ending, but it was satisfying. The movie was very good, and I thought it was a very good movie.
To bring it home, people, we got a stale popcorn for something that you regret spending an hour to an hour and a half watching. We have a regular popcorn, kind of bland, but just regular. It's popcorn you munch away as you watch a movie for a middle of the road type of flick. And then for your absolute favorite movies, We reserve the movie with all the fixings, all the trimmings, whatever you like on it. Extra butter, pound it down, cholesterol chugging through my arteries. I would designate this movie in between the middle of the road and the popcorn with butter, but because we don't have a middle designation for that middle, I'm going to give it a popcorn with extra butter.
I would, as they say, great minds think alike. I would say it doesn't reach the level of a popcorn with all the fixings. Not for anything it did poorly. It's just a very, very good movie that just wasn't a great movie. That's all. Doesn't make it bad. It's a very good movie. I mean, I'd watch it, again and again and again, and I enjoyed it very much. So with that, I would say, yeah. I mean,
you get one of these.
I would do one of these. Basically, everybody watch it. If you like Adam Sandler, if you don't like Adam Sandler, and you like anything about it, you thoroughly enjoy it. Just, hey, and let us know what you think in the comments. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the episode, and let us know what you think. Basically,
I hope you enjoy the flick. Remember, play the game. Don't let the money ride. If anything, after this movie, you realize that you could get sucked in real quick.
Yeah,
and go spiraling out of control, and it could be game over. Please watch the movie. Enjoy it. Dead Air Dudes gives it 2 thumbs up with popcorn with mostly butter. And again, thanks for tuning in. As Easy said, like, subscribe. Definitely please leave us a comment. Contact us somehow. Let us know what movies you would like us to review next and how you thought this review went. Again, thanks for your support out there as we continue to grow. And these are the thoughts of Izzy and Rocker from Dead Air Dudes signing off. Save the whales.
Save the whales. Stay safe, everybody. Take care.